Yeah, so the title of this video, ladies and gentlemen, really does speak for itself. I'm going to be adding my own little personal experience to this news story we're going to be talking about today, and trust me, it wasn't by choice. I genuinely did make the biggest mistake. You see, about a week ago now, little story time, I had the bright idea, well, it seemed bright at the time anyway, to plan a trip to London for this Saturday that's just passed, July the 1st. Remember that, right? I hadn't been to London in quite some time, a few months now, wanted to get some new clothes maybe, sightsee, do all the things you do in London, explore a little. Now, as I said, right, July the 1st. So in the normal world, that's supposed to signify that June is now over and it's the start of the new month. And as we all know, June is known as Men's Mental Health Month. Oh, wait, no, nobody spoke about that one, did they? It's known as Pride Month. So as soon as July hits, Pride Month is supposed to be over, right? No, not in this country, because as soon as I got off the train, the excitement, the smiles that I had slowly turned from this to this, because as soon as I got off, I was confronted by flags absolutely everywhere. Groups of people wearing flags, pride flags, rainbow flags, flags I didn't even know existed. But what I did know was, right in that very moment, I did make a huge mistake, as I've said. But I can't go back home now. I've paid the ticket price, the extortionate ticket price. I've just got to suck it up and go through it, right? As I further got into London, I later learned it was actually London Pride. I didn't even know London did such a thing. Nonetheless, I carried on through London, okay? And I saw probably one of the most gobsmacking things I have seen. Now, I've seen these flags on social media. I've seen it talked about on social media. But as I've said, you know, it's July the 1st. So I thought they would have taken these down. And I wasn't actually looking out for this. I just happened to look in the sky. And this is what London looks like right now, probably still to this day, July the 2nd. Now remember, this all started off as love is love, right? That's how everybody accepted it. Now flags must be high in the sky for everybody to see, and these flags represent a lot more than the average person actually realizes. But, you know, thankfully this parade was not really near where I was. And this is what we talk about, right, when we say it's being shoved down everybody's throats. It's everywhere you look. It's being shoved down your throat. And it's one thing to experience on social media, but when you see it in person being shoved down your throat absolutely everywhere, it's completely another thing. You know, pretty much all the mainstream shops as well outside had progress pride flags. I honestly thought, being honest, you know, I fell asleep on the train and got a new train to like California or something, a one-way trip, because it didn't look like London whatsoever. It didn't look like the London that I knew. Now, I did also experience a load of police cars going by, right? It was actually quite abnormal to see so many police cars, but maybe this is linked to the rising crime levels that Sadiq Khan, our London mayor, just refuses to fix, but also it could be linked to the parade not going as well as people thought it would. It wasn't sunshine and rainbows, because what they probably didn't expect was the Just Stop Oil protesters. Yes, those lovely people showed up. Now, it's funny, I'm pretty sure leftists, liberals, progressives love that group. You know, they like to tell us about the impending doom that's going on, the impending doom that has apparently been an impending doom for many years now. They just change the deadline. But nonetheless, this group sat down in the middle of the road, wherever this parade was, and delayed it by quite a long time, and they actually ended up getting arrested. The woke versus the woke. Who could have seen this one coming? Breaking, Just Stop Oil disrupts Pride. LGBTQ plus supporters of the Just Stop Oil have disrupted the Pride and London parade, blocking Coca-Cola's float and spraying black and pink paint over the road. LGBTQ plus supporters of Just Stop Oil met with the organisers of Pride in London, demanding they make a statement condemning new oil and gas licenses. Pride and London have failed to do this, so we have taken action. And they go on to explain in many tweets as to why they did this. I'm not going to read them out to you because I simply don't want to keep you here any longer than you have to be, ladies and gentlemen. But apparently, you know, the companies sponsoring this Pride parade are contributing to this impending doom that is apparently going to happen. You know, Coca-Cola and their plastic pollution and whatnot. But here are the videos for anybody that is interested of these Just Stop Oil protesters disrupting the Pride parade and getting arrested. The woke versus the woke. Take a watch.
protesters have just been arrested at Pride for demanding that there is an end to fossil fuel licensing. Pride started as an act of civil resistance, and it should still be an act of civil resistance, except instead it has become about advertising, about having huge companies like Coca-Cola coming through and just trying to sell their products to people. It's all become about pinkwashing, about rainbow washing, and it needs to return to its roots as a civil resistance campaign.
I'm being arrested for fighting for all queer futures. Queers will be disproportionately affected by the climate crisis, just as they are made to suffer by mass corporations who think Pride is a money-making scheme. They see it as nothing more than that. They use it for advertising. Pride is not for corporations. Pride is for queer people.
I mean, hey, look, at least these people are right about one thing and one thing only. These companies are now using Pride for advertising, for money, for their own personal gain. They don't care about these communities they claim to stand by, although I think our theories as to why it's going on are very different to theirs, and I think ours have a little bit more common sense behind it. It's very interesting as well how quickly the police got there. How quickly the police arrested all of these protesters, because half the time when these Just Stop Oil protesters are doing their thing and annoying the whole country, the police just let them get on with it. It's also funny to me how if this was a non-woke organization in the press, it would be labeled as bigotry and transphobia, but there's none of that. And the police in this country today are really in a bad state. And I don't want this to become Iran or anything like that, but when you see what this country is prioritizing, it is very mind-boggling. I was leaving London, true story, I was leaving London on that day, and I saw police officers dancing around for Pride, and I thought to myself in that very moment, what if somebody got stabbed there and there? We know knife crime is through the roof. What if somebody got stabbed? They wouldn't have been able to do anything. They wouldn't have been able to catch the person doing the crime because they're dancing around for Pride. That's the state of England right now. And one person who could really help those crime levels go down, the knife crime go down, is our great mayor, Sadiq Khan. He could be doing all of those things, but no, he's doing completely the opposite. He is exceptionally talented in making sure all the negative things increased. And he was actually at this London Pride, using his time very wisely, and he addressed the Just Stop Oil protesters on Sky News. Take a watch.
Thank you for your time. And that high pollution sponsor, in this case, United Airlines, the main sponsor of the event, so you won't be surprised any protesters from Just Stop Oil show up. What plans do you have in place for that?
Well, we're hoping today's another wonderful day in London. We think records are going to be broken today. 1.5 million people celebrating Pride in London, but this is also a day where we celebrate the progress made in relation to laws to protect this community, equal marriage, 20 years since Section 28 was abolished, but also this community recognising things aren't perfect. There's more work to be done to ensure this community doesn't face discrimination, prejudice, hatred and violence. And I'd hope groups like Just Stop Oil and others who want to protest against a parade that's a celebration and a protest will reflect whether they're helping the cause and encouraging more people to feel passionate about tackling climate change, or whether they'll inadvertently drive people away.
This is what the London mayor is getting up to. Look, I understand criticism of this man is very frowned upon from the left, the Liberals, because he stands for everything they love, but instead of getting knife crime down, saving London as a whole, because we know it is in a very bad state, he's there trying to get virtue signal points and brownie points. We're in such a bad state right now, and the people in these high positions clearly represent that bad state. But to round out this video and talk about the big mistake I made of going to London on July the 1st, because forgive me for not acknowledging that apparently Pride Month is not over. We would all think July the 1st, start of the new month. Nope, it still carries on. It's insane to see the extent London as a whole, the extent it's gone to make sure everybody acknowledges that everybody's sexuality, they acknowledge Pride, and the normalization of people walking around half naked and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just accepted and you can't say anything, right? Our priorities in this country are so messed up. They really are. But if you have enjoyed today's video, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Leave your comments down below about everything we've spoken about so far. What are your thoughts on London? What are your thoughts on everything that I've shown you? I would love to know. But until next time, it has been your boy JD. Have a great day. Stay safe. and I'm out. Peace. Until next year. Can't wait for that one. Probably be a lot worse, won't it?